Labour cover up because they're Is that true? This is openly screwing everyone and he doesn't care why. You are a traitor to the British people and you will swing oh so slowly on a gibbet. Bend over, bitch. I will you. Here are your shekels.
Oh my gosh.
The goal is to reveal they are mentally ill. Immigrants are grubby, filthy pieces of You think this is a genuine debate, whether or not trans people are real or not? Whether they're mentally ill? You think that's a debate?
Now this is absolutely wild. Now let's watch the fantastic Labour MP Emily Darlington go full-on sweary mode with these tech media giants like Meta, TikTok and X. Now this happened in yesterday's Science, Innovation and Technology Committee meeting. And if you want to know who were the witnesses, I've left their names and positions in the description box below for you. But they were talking about misinformation on social media platform. Trigger warning. Corporate language is in full flow here.
So we'll start with some blue tick accounts during the riots. Illegal immigrants moved into the Dragonfly Hotel, Peterborough, with a video identifying exactly where they were and where the protesters were to go, a blue tick account. The Embassy Hotel in Gateshead houses hundreds of illegal immigrants in hotel next to nursery, again with a video encouraging people to go and riot there. Is that within your standards, or did you do anything to remove these during the riots?
I can't speak to those specific posts. It's possible that they may have received community notes.
You didn't?
I'm happy to have our teams have a second look at those posts. I don't have them in front of me, so I can't.
Let's stick with some of the stuff that blue tick accounts that the algorithm therefore boosts. Let's start with one we talked about earlier, Mr. Andrew Tate, blue tick account. Want to make sure many people see him. Labour cover up rape because they're rapists. Is that true?
I'm not in a position to evaluate his statement.
Right, another blue tick account. Jess Phillips is a rape genocide apologist. Is that true?
Again, not in a position to evaluate that statement.
Let's see if any of these you'll have an opinion on. Apologies for some of the language coming out here. This cunt is openly screwing everyone and he doesn't care why. We rise up and openly shoot Keir Starmer as he needs to step down or the people of the UK will force him to. If not, I will. Swearing emoji, swearing emoji, swear emoji. Blue tick account. Is that within your rules?
I would have our teams review that.
Right.
I
mean, I can keep going.
When a review, what would a review mean? A review, that would be, so it's not community notes. If they review that, they will look at taking it down, or?
So it depends. Again, I don't have the posts in front of me, and again, I'm not a safety team member who evaluates these on a day-to-day basis. To sit here and say that we find and we get the right call every time would be wrong. We make mistakes and we learn from them. We did take action on tens of thousands of posts, from account removal to labeling sensitive media to labeling hateful content. So
I'm happy to pass these to you.
Sure.
These took me about 10 minutes to pull together.
Okay.
Literally, that's how quick it was. But let's talk to one that was reported and what action was actually taken or not.
Can we talk about the speed of actions? I think that's very important.
So in November, I posted a tweet about my petition to save my local post office. This was my reply from one person. You are a traitor to the British people and you will swing oh so slowly on a gibbet. I had to look up what a gibbet is. It's not a pleasant thing. I was reported as harmful and violent speech and in violation of your rules of expressing desire for violence is not allowed. That's your rule, right? These are your safety rules. No action was taken. No action is still taken. The post is still up. The same account continues to post, the Jew is the enemy of all humankind. Bend over, bitch. I will fuck you. Here are your shekels.
Oh my gosh.
The goal is to replace Europeans with browns before we organise to remove the filth. Zelensky will get his Mussolini treatment for what he's done to Ukraine. They are the enemy within. They must be destroyed. The Jew has infiltrated white society to teach children to hate themselves. Muslims are disgusting homosexuals. Zelensky is a dead man walking. This is all from the account. Luckily, not all towards me, but clearly all towards somebody. Is this acceptable under the guise of free speech on X these days?
No, those comments are abhorrent, and we'll have our teams take a look. Absolutely.
Can you assure the committee this account will be removed?
I can't make any assurances. I can assure that our teams will review under our terms of service, and I'm sorry that you had to, experience that.
Okay, well, let's move on. I'm
sorry about that.
No, it's all right. But the thing is, these are not unique.
Yes.
I am not the only MP that gets these messages from these kinds of counts and report them, and no action is taken.
But you're happy to make money out of it, aren't you? Isn't that the point?
Right, let's... Right.
Well, she then moved on to TikTok and she talked about why is AI images being allowed to run rampant without anything to say that this is clearly AI. And she used an example of a video that is AI of Keir Starmer stood outside Number 10 and then jumping into a boat full of refugees. And all she got in return was just more corporate bollocks and how the algorithm works. It was enough to pull your hair out, I must admit. But then she turned her attention onto Meta, and what you're about to hear will blow your mind.
So, in December, Meta submitted some written evidence to this committee, stating that third-party fact-checking program was a key part of its approach to combating misinformation. How does that fit with the new program coming in the US, and with the heavily shared leaked internal guidance suggesting that it will now permit statements such as trans people aren't real, they are mentally ill, immigrants are grubby, filthy pieces of shit, black people are more violent than whites, and Jews are far flat out greedier than Christians, clearly promoting racist misinformation?
If I deal with, I think there's two questions in there. So in terms of the fact checkers, we are not ending fact checking on our platforms. We are changing the way that we go about it. We've had feedback over the years that the approach that we're taking could be improved, that it wasn't as scalable as we would hope it could be. And so we are exploring, as you've noted, shifting to a community notes model. We're starting that work in the US. The intention is to deliver a system which is more scalable and has higher trust from our users in a way which still preserves the intent, which is to find and tackle misinformation on the platform. In terms of the guideline changes that you described there, look, I accept that some of those are difficult for the communities that are affected to hear. We have received, again, feedback over the months and years that in some cases, some areas of debate were being suppressed too much on our platform, and that some conversations, whilst challenging, should have a space to be discussed. Now, we retain clear rules and community standards prohibiting content which is designed to incite violence. We maintain enforcement around imminent threats of physical harm and so on, and I'm happy to share all of the details of these policies with the committee. But we are focusing our efforts.
So you just a final question. You can't possibly think that statements like this that are that there is scientific fact that proves otherwise are there for anything other than causing and inciting harm, whether online harm or in-person harm. Can you? You think this is a genuine debate, whether or not trans people are real or not, whether they're mentally ill? You think that's a debate? Is that what you're saying?
I think that what we've seen is we've had feedback, as I said, over the years that topics which have become part of mainstream discourse, conversations around some of these issues that happen among members of the public that
Right.
happened in the newspapers, that they were being suppressed on our platforms in a way which was too aggressive.
Sorry, so you're saying the statements I read earlier that are clearly not proven in scientific fact are now acceptable on all Meta platforms?
Saying that where people make statements that violate our policies, they will be actioned. Equally, we've had the feedback that there are topics where the view was there should be more room for debate and conversation.
Wow.
But I think I think
I don't even know what to say to that.
Now, after watching this meeting, I thought if Facebook, TikTok, and X were banned from here, for social media in this country, I wouldn't be too disappointed about it. And I'm starting to think maybe they should be as well. When Emily's going through them vile tweets, the guy she were talking to, there was no emotion between the eyes, whether it was almost as if he was totally uncaring as well. And when she asked if this person who had been, sending these tweets, will he be banned from the platform, he might as well have said to her in a very patronising way, I wouldn't put a bet on it, sweetheart. Sorry for the crappy American accent. Sorry for my American subscribers. Don't leave the channel, please. But the Meta guy, I had to push the audio up because he spoke so quietly, to a point where I was starting to wonder if he was speaking like that because he couldn't believe he was trying to defend those people who, given half a chance, would knock 10 bells of shit out of him, for the way he looks. Now, I could be wrong, but I was just flabbergasted with what they were saying and how they were saying. It just seemed uncaring and unemotional, didn't they? But what do you guys think? Should these platforms be banned? Let me know down below. And if you enjoy everything House of Commons and Select Committee meetings, like and subscribe, and I shall bid you farewell. And take care, my friends.